Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Hope you get outside and get some sunlight. It's a pretty day outside. Just going to wait a few more minutes for everyone to join us here. So my tripod broke, so I'm going to have to ask that you bear with me through this video. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Alex. So, who's ready to talk about some helicopters and build something that can fly? So again, bear with me with my camera. My tripod did break right before this video. So, we will do what we can to get through this, alright? We got a couple more minutes here. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this around. So this is one of the more iconic helicopters. We're not quite starting yet, but I'm sure everyone's seen a helicopter in their life. There are different kinds. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I got just about 1:30 on my watch. So, again, we're here to talk about helicopters. Pardon the low-tech option we got here today. I will be focusing primarily on Army helicopters because those are what I know the best. Partially because I'm biased and partially because my dad flew them for a while. So, not that the other armed services aren't just as important, and not that, EMS services don't have a proper role to play with their helicopters. So, I'm sure we've all seen different pictures of flying machines throughout history. Leonardo da Vinci had a pretty early version of one, but he never got his machine to fly. So people have been wanting to fly for hundreds of years and trying to figure out ways to do that. So right here we have a basic timeline of the creation of what we know as a helicopter. So you have, starting in 1907 here, these two, actually three independent people, were trying their luck with a rotating wing aircraft. It didn't sustain flight. It was not a very good machine. In 1912, you have Igor Sikorsky and Boris begin their designs for vertical lift machines. They resemble what we would recognize as a helicopter. And Sikorsky you may recognize because that company exists today and they continue to make helicopters. Probably one of the best well-known companies there is for helicopters. So the 1920s through the 30s, you had autogyros, which were the main vertical flight machines until a new rotary wing aircraft becomes popular. We now call it the helicopter. In the 1940s, the U.S. Congress signs an act which allows for government development for helicopters. There was this idea that helicopters could be used in warfare and for other things. So in the 1950s, you see the first real military use of a helicopter. It wasn't very widespread, but it validated its use in combat theater. In the 1960s, during the Vietnam War or conflict, it's also called the helicopter war. This is where the helicopter really takes off in usefulness for the variety of things they can be used for. So, here are the basic parts of the helicopter. Everything that flies needs lift. So you have your rotors that create that lift. You want it to lift upwards, but how do you get it to actually fly back and forth? Well, you need this guy right here to give it some stability. And then you have landing skids or wheels, some have wheels now, and you have to have fuel. So when you have your blade pointed down, it creates lift back here, which pushes the weight of the helicopter down and makes it go forward. You do the opposite if you want to go backwards. just like this. So helicopters are still relatively safe to fly. One thing that helicopter pilots don't have that some jet fighters have is they don't have an ejectable cockpit. They don't have parachutes. And that's because if you were to eject, you're going to hit this rotary blade right here. But it's still pretty rare that a helicopter has issues where it falls out of the sky today. So here are the main helicopter uses. You have troop transport. You had them used as gunships, search and rescue and medical evacuation. So like if someone gets stranded at sea, Coast Guard or someone else will send out a helicopter out there to pick them up. You have resupply and command and control. They're really good to survey battlefields. So this guy right here, he's the Huey. He's probably the most iconic helicopter you can think of. He's especially iconic because of his role in the Vietnam conflict. He is still in use today. He's actually what armed service members, Army members, if they want to learn how to fly helicopters, they learn on this guy first. Later on, they'll specialize in a different type of helicopter if they want to, but this is the main training helicopter right here. And he was used as medevac, so if you were injured, to get you off the battlefield, troop transport, and a gunship. So troop transport just means taking troops from one location to another. This guy, the Chinook, he is a tandem rotor helicopter, meaning he's got two of these helicopter blades. He's a medium lift, and he's good for larger troop transport, and he's also still in service. Another thing he can do, other than fit a lot of people in here, he can fit a lot of goods in here. And he can also carry things like Humvees and other vehicles. He can't carry everything, but he can carry a good chunk of the equipment the military uses. This guy, the Cobra, he is an attack helicopter only. He is still in service. There's another attack helicopter out, but all of these were used during the Vietnam era. This guy, the Blackhawk, is new. I wanted to show you the new troop transport helicopter. He replaced the Huey. As you can see, instead of skids, he's got wheels. He's a little bit bigger, and he does tactical troop transport. So that means he moves troops to a place in the battlefield that the Army wants them. Now, these are all focused on military helicopters, but like I said, we can use them for search and rescue. People have used them to survey things like Hawaiian Islands and stuff like that. So I don't want you to think that helicopters are only used for military purposes. So, I'm not going to show you this video, but if any adult out there wants to watch this and has the ability to get these supplies right here, this is a great way to make your own at-home rubber band helicopter. I unfortunately don't have the supplies. And I understand not everyone may have the supplies as well, so I'm going to hand my camera over because I want everyone, if they don't have the ability to make that, to be able to make something that still flies. So again, airplanes need lift too. You don't need to get fancy to build something that can fly at home. So I'm going to show you one way to build a paper airplane. And this guy, he flies pretty well. So if you're able to get a sheet of paper, doesn't matter what it is. I just use computer paper. We're going to make sure that he's portrait. We're going to take him and fold him in half like this. And then we're going to open him back up. And then we're going to take this edge right here and fold him to that crease in the middle. And take this edge over here and do the same thing. Now, you got this guy right here. You're going to turn him over. And where this crease is, you're going to fold him in half again. Just like this. It's okay if it doesn't line up exactly perfectly. Now, you're going to take this corner right here and you're going to put it flush with this edge right here. Get the nose. And you're going to fold it like that. Then you're going to fold this side down again. So this edge right here, you want to match up with the bottom edge of your paper. Now, if I'm going too fast, that's okay. we'll have this video up later so that if you get an adult, you can go back and watch it again if you didn't quite get everything the first time. All right, so we got one side done. We're gonna flip them over, and we're gonna do the same thing. Take this edge, put it flush with the bottom. And you're gonna crease it, and take this edge and put that flush with the bottom. Like that. So now you got this guy. So I promised you he would fly, so I'm gonna show you that's the truth. It's a little windy, so let's walk over here. Alrighty. Crash landed, but that's okay. You can get him to fly better if you want. And there's our flying machine for the day. Now, if some of y'all have different ways of making helicopters or paper airplanes, let us know. Put us in the comments later. Tag the library if you can on Instagram and Facebook. And we will see you next week for another history program, all right? Bye, guys.